going to be 10 minutes late, so I sent the link around 10 minutes after, and I was just sitting here doing client work, just kind of zoning out, and I'm like, oh shit, it's 8:12, so I sent the link, and then nobody shows up for another 5 minutes. Just one of those Mondays, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, I woke up late. I'm
Yeah,
eating my second meal of my first meal.
yeah. What is that meal? That looks yummy.
225 potatoes and 220 shrimp.
Nice. Oh, dude, I'm a big shrimp guy. I love shrimp.
Mm-hmm. When Justin said white fish and shrimp are technically the same thing, like that. Say less.
Hell yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you compare shrimp to like cod or tilapia, it's so much better.
Dude, hands
Oh,
down. Hands down.
so much
Yo,
better.
I want to ask, did you watch our last episode? Like actually on
Uh,
YouTube?
dude, are you talking? I didn't watch the whole thing, but are you talking about when you start moving in slow motion?
Yeah. Well, that and our like frame was when we were sharing the photos of what we
Oh
showed.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I was
So
like, what?
Josh is fixing that for this one. So he sent me a new overlay. Uh, what up, Josh?
What's up?
Well,
Speaking of the
buddy.
devil, I was just saying that you sent me a new overlay without the lines, Tyler. So when I share my screen from now on, it won't look like that. It'll look way better. And then I don't know why you were moving in slow motion for that part of the podcast, bro. That was so weird. I think it was right before you disappeared.
Oh,
So your internet,
So I must have been losing signal or something.
I
It
think
had to.
so. Because when I first realized that because I was editing that clip that I posted, and I looked down and I'm like, "What's Tyler doing in this clip right now?" And then I went back and I'm like, "Oh, it was like that for a minute. You were like, we could hear you, but you were moving like literally in slow motion." Well, technical hiccups, I guess.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
gonna join on my phone, but then I was like, since we might have these other people on here, I probably should be on my computer so that I can see.
Oh, sure.
But
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought about.
I have no idea what this will look like with 5 people.
I have no
I'm
idea.
sure it's gonna look like we'll probably have three at the top, two at the bottom, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, Ash.
probably.
I don't know if she's for sure gonna join or not. I guess Milan was saying that she was at the vet or something still, so we're gonna see about that. But I sent them both the link, so
Oh, okay. Right on. Sweet. They should be by anytime.
Mm.
Josh, how are you today, buddy?
I'm good. I'm tired, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I
How about
hear
you
you.
guys?
It's
Same.
Monday.
Still waking up.
Good. I
Okay,
I've
folks.
been like busy every single day, so I've been making up for all my meals at the end of the night. So I've been staying up
Okay.
late eating like back-to-back meals of whatever I didn't get in during the day. I'm
Damn.
tired, dude. I was up to like 2:30 last night getting my food, and I feel like
Fuck.
Oh yeah.
Is it the sheer amount of food is a lot, or is it just that you're that busy?
I think it's kind of both because what I'll end up
Hmm.
doing, it's like this ADHD thing. Just I have something in front of me, but I cannot get myself to complete just this own task. I can't just do one thing at a time. So instead of doing
Okay.
like five things at a time, and eating is one of those things, so I circle back to it. So like
Hmm.
while I'm doing stuff, I'm taking bites, and it takes me like an hour to an hour and a half to get a meal down, just because I'm doing all this other stuff.
Uh,
And then by the time I'm done with that food, I'm like, okay, I gotta get up and make more.
hmm.
And then I'll be like 3 meals in, I'll be like, I'm fucking sick of this. I'm taking a break. And then I'll take a break, and I'll be like, okay, now I've got to eat like that again at the end of the night to catch up.
Man, you and I are so different. Every meal I eat is like an event. I like get my meal ready. I get all my sauces and my seasonings exactly how I want them. I sit down. I put something on the TV. I do like focus on just the meal for like 15, 20 minutes straight. Yeah, dude. I don't multitask when I eat really, so I spend a lot of time eating every day.
Well, I would be fine. Like, I would finish my food, and this would be so much easier for me if I didn't do all of the
Yeah.
multitasking. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I
Fair.
don't even know how to explain it. It's just like there's something keeping me from just doing it. And this is true for almost any task that I do. It's like I have it, I'm there, I'm sitting in front of it, I want to do it, I'm 100% ready to get this thing done, but just something is just like keeping me from being able to just hone in on it and do it. And I wish
Yeah.
that eating wasn't like that for me because realistically, it should probably only take like 20 minutes to finish a meal.
Sure. Yeah.
Realistically, yeah.
Yeah, if it took
Well,
me
like
20
you
minutes to
said,
cook a meal, my whole entire day would be so much easier.
yeah. Well, like you said, Josh, it's like a ADHD thing, right? So
Yeah.
is that's something that you actually, are diagnosed with and deal with, yeah?
Yep.
Got you. Yeah. So that makes sense. Do you?
Yeah. I'm a
You don't
psychiatrist
have to.
appointment after, actually.
Gotcha. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but just curious. Do you take any medication for your ADHD or no?
I don't know if I think so. When I was talking to my psychiatrist about all of this stuff, we were trying to treat other things before worrying about the ADHD. But
Okay.
what I was actually going to tell him today is I feel like from what I've been researching lately on my own, the
Mhm.
ADHD is probably a huge cause of a lot of all the other things that I'm dealing with. So I want to see if we can do something about that or not, because
Sure.
I,
Yeah,
I
man.
definitely feel like that's been like a major, major issue for me. And I didn't even realize the full extent of like how bad ADHD can be for people until I started to do a little bit more reading into it.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Just curious because I know I have a handful of clients and just friends who deal with that, and some take medication, some don't, and for some it seems like it's life changing when they do. It's like they completely like they're so different, and their life is so much better with it. So, just
Yeah, dude,
curious.
it's crazy. It's like a lot of people would assume that somebody with ADHD is lazy, but the truth is, it's just for some reason so much harder. Like something's just in the way of you doing what you want or need to do. Like
Yeah.
I could be doing something and set up my whole entire day to do something extremely important and know that my whole day is planned for that. And I will be like, I sit down on my computer, I'll start to do that thing, and then I'll get up to do something else. And then I completely forget about that one specific important thing that I planned on doing. So then
Hmm.
I'll start going on to the next task, and then the next, and then the next. And then hours will go by, and then it'll circle back, and it'll be like, oh my God, I haven't done all of this yet. I completely forgot about all of this. Then I'll try to go back and do that again. So like if I'm instead of instead of filling up one bucket of water, I'm trying to fill up 5 buckets of water. Obviously, you're not going to be able to
Yeah.
fill up 5 buckets of water. You're just going to put like 5% in each bucket every single day. So you're never getting
Yeah.
anything done. You're just getting 5% of multiple things done all the time.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
my brother's just like that. He ended up realizing that he has ADHD because he's a yes man and he's always like super busy, like super busy. And he takes on like multiple tasks at a time, and he always felt himself like overextended and understanding that he's not giving 100% out of each task. And so he didn't think it was nothing. He just thought it was the way he was until he actually had an anxiety attack, and he was like, okay, let me check this out. So
That's what it is too. You'll start to overwhelm yourself because if you're anything like me, I am trying to do these tasks, but then I'm also just ambitious. I'm like, I want to create more things. I want more projects. So I start adding on to them without thinking about it. Like, oh, I can handle this. I've been able to handle all 5 or 6 or 7 of these things. I can handle this. I'll start bringing more stuff on, and then I'll start to get anxious and have like really, really bad anxiety over just the amount of overwhelming stuff that I have to do at that moment. And that's another thing with ADHD is when you are overwhelmed, that's the stuff that you tend to procrastinate, whether it's on purpose or not, up to a point where then it's a lot of work that you have to fit into a very short window of time.
I definitely have a little bit of that in me for certain things, for sure. Like
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, not to the extent that you're talking about, but I do have that in me. What about you, Tyler? Do you have any of those tendencies, or is all this foreign to you?
nah, I don't deal with none of this.
Yeah.
If I'm anxious of anything, it's because I put myself in that position to be anxious, where I'm procrastinating, just wholeheartedly being lazy. That's the only time I do it. So other than that, nah, I'm like when I said in earlier podcast, where I'm really just kind of cool
Yeah.
for the most part. I'm like either super high or I'm just
Yeah.
at chill mode.
Yeah. Tyler's like,
Yeah.
man, how did I get on this podcast with these two best? Josh and I are like, we're so anxious all the time
It's
about everything.
crazy, dude.
Oh,
But
it's funny.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's why bodybuilding's been so good for me because it actually does create a structure around my day, at least that I have to
Yeah.
adhere to. Like no matter
Yeah.
what, like all this other stuff I have going on is I have to get my meals done and I have to get to the gym. So that still kind of sets up a little bit of a template where, like, okay, I'm doing this and this. I have to get all this done in between. And it helps a
Mm-hmm.
little bit when I try to do that, but it's been hard. That's why I've been up late trying to finish my meals because I'm like, this is non-negotiable. I have to eat my meals every single day, no matter what. So if I have to stay up till 2 in the morning to finish them, then that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Well, let's be honest here. I mean, granted, you're always busy, right? There's nothing wrong with missing a meal if you're trying to put on some. It gives you some sleep, man. Like sleep is just as beneficial as eating a meal.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
that's a really good discussion. Do you guys think that? Would you like if you
I
had 6 meals to eat, would you eat five and skip one to get more sleep?
It obviously there's levels. It depends on like how exhausted physically or mentally you are. Like if
Yeah.
you can lay down and just pass out, lay down and pass out. Don't stay up till 1 to try to eat your meal and then wake up 4 or 5 hours later. Like you're not
Mm,
even getting an adequate amount of sleep for your body to even process all the food that you just
mm,
yeah.
took in. So that's my opinion. But you can't do that consistently, obviously. So
yeah.
sometimes you are gonna have to force it. But there are days where you just realize like I'm just gonna go to sleep.
So
Yeah, I
like if
feel
it's
like
a one-off,
to to be
if it's a
completely honest, like
one-off, you would just
that's confusing.
accept.
Um,
Dude.
to be honest, I do think that the sleep is going to be more important as far as recovery goes. Like if you were to have to pick between one or another one day, but
Mhm.
mentally that would not work for me because then all I would be thinking about while I'm trying to sleep is the fact that I did not do this one thing that I was really supposed to do today, and then I
Mhm.
won't be able to sleep and I'll get anxiety from that. And then I just won't sleep anyways.
I got a
What
question. If your coach was tracking your sleep, how would you feel about that? Like if he was like, I need you to have 7 hours sleep daily. Would that
Well,
be
I could easily.
conflicting?
No, if he told, dude, if the more that I'm told to do, the easier my life is, to be honest.
Oh shit.
If he was like, if he was like, I need you to get 8 hours of sleep every day. I need you to eat your meals at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., like set it up like that, it would be easier for me. Now, obviously, that's not something a coach should be doing. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, if they were doing that for me, I honestly would have an easier time because it's less that I have to think about with everything that I already have to think about. So it
I
would
I
mean,
be
would
got
you
better.
would you would you ask Terrence to do that for you?
No, you don't
No.
need to. I still get it in, like, regardless. It's for me, like, that's my personal thing. I feel like I just need to get my self schedule set
Mm.
up. Like it was a lot easier. And this is a good topic too, if you guys want to go into this. Bodybuilding was easier for me when I was working underground in the coal mines because my whole fucking week and day was structured and I didn't have to think about. But now I'm running my own businesses and this is what I do for a living. So I have to think about everything every single day, every single week. And I also am the one that's responsible for scheduling all of these things and getting them done because if I don't get them done, they're not going to. So I think
Mhm.
that when I was working that job, even though it was a really shitty job and I was working like 16 to 18 hours a day, I feel like bodybuilding was easier for me then because at that point in my life, I didn't have to think about anything at all. Just my meals, like, oh, I take them to work with me, we're good to go. I'm making money this way. I'm here for this amount of hours in a day, and then I just go to the gym after and I go to bed. That's it. That's what my life was.
I two things, Josh. One, you should Venmo me and Tyler $1, and we'll be your sleep coaches. Hi- Hire us as sleep coaches for $1 a month, and then that'll force you to
Gotcha.
sleep.
Like, all right, what do you got to get done this week? And I'll just send it to you. Okay, so this is when you go
Yeah,
to bed. This is when you wake up.
exactly. I'm on it. I'm on top of it. Uh, I don't remember what my second thing was. Oh yeah, yeah. So for running your own business, it's tough because it's always there, right? Like you never leave work. It's always just there.
Hmm?
So you could always be working. So it's hard to shut it off. I think the ticket there is to just treat yourself like an employee. So
I'm
like,
trying to do that. I know what you mean, but dude,
yeah.
when I move, I know it's going to be a really big deal in that way because right
Mhm.
now I'm in a one bedroom, one bathroom apartment. I work on my kitchen counter. So when I move, I'll have a separate room for an office and I can actually just like shut that door. I'll be like, okay, my day's over. Everything in this office and all of this work is going to be there for me tomorrow. But right now, I can't even sit on my couch and relax because I'm sitting in the same room that I normally do work in. And
Right.
mentally, I'm like, why the fuck should I allow myself to sit here and relax and chill out when I could be over here doing this, this, and this? Because the same thing with like running your own business, not just only is the work there for you if you want it to be, but you want your business and everything that you're doing to be something that you're proud of, and you want to do as much of it as you possibly can. So if it's available to you to be working on it, you're more than likely going to be working on it if you actually care about it. So then I'm like,
Mm.
that's when I end up working, every waking minute of my day. And then I notice a burnout because the only day that I'll take off will be like Saturday to hang out with my girlfriend on the weekends. And I think it's because I allow myself to rest. And obviously I need to. But when I wake up on Sunday, dude, I'm broken. On Sunday, I barely function at all physically, mentally. I'm just done, like burnt out completely. Like
Yeah.
everything that had caught up with me throughout the whole entire week hits on Sunday, and I'm like a zombie. And then I wake up on Monday morning again, just like all of the energy's back. It's the weirdest thing.
Man, I feel like I was exactly where you're at like a year ago, like always burnt out all the time, maybe even less than a year ago. And the only reason I'm not now, don't get me wrong, I still need my one day of my Sunday to reset and do nothing. But I'm not as burnt out as I was, and I think it's because I've just started prioritizing things more. So
Hmm.
instead of trying to be the best at everything all the time, I've managed to teach myself how to only try to be the best at one thing at a time.
Right.
So especially hearing like all these successful people talk about that, right? Like Fuad says this all the time. If you try to chase two rabbits at once, you're going to lose one.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I think that's true. So then I think about, okay, which of these rabbits is most important to me at this time in my life? And that's building a successful bodybuilding career and getting my pro card and being a bodybuilder, because that's genuinely what I care about the most. So with that in mind, I plan my day accordingly. Like, okay, I need to prioritize all of these things first. And then the time that I have left over to allocate to clients and that part of my business, I'll allocate to clients. But it's time invested, right? Like I know that me going to the gym and crushing the leg workout and getting in all my meals, that's not going to make me money today, but that is absolutely going to set me up for what I want to do with my life in the future, which is
Yeah.
most important. That's more important to me than making a dollar today, for sure.
So,
That said, we still have to pay our bills, so you do have to balance,
Mm-hmm.
clients in there as well. You can't just like throw it all out the window. But yeah, that's how I think about it.
do you
That's the
find it
best.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead, Josh.
and Tyler, for you too, because I was wondering, I was going to say, because you also have a job. So, do you guys find it difficult, like for you, Neil, too, the way that you structure your day and everything, where you do focus in on that one thing that's the most important? Do you
Mm-hmm.
find it difficult to do that, where like when you're going about your day, even though you're trying to set your focus on this one thing, you don't have a million other things going on in your head that's going to set you off, whether it be on accident or not? Like for me, I know, I mean, and Fuad talks about this a lot too, so you could use this for an example, but you always have a clock in the back of your head as a bodybuilder where it's like, I got to
Yes.
get this done, I got to get this done, I got to eat this meal, I got to go to the gym at this time, whatever it is, right? For
Mm-hmm.
me, I get so lost in everything that I'm doing that I'm not paying attention to what time it is. So
Mm-hmm.
I will be doing something for like 3 hours straight. I'll be like, oh, not even knowing that 3 hours just went by. And when I'm doing that for that full 3 hours and it only feels like 30 minutes to me, at that point I've missed like a meal. I have to be ready to make another meal, and then I'm supposed to be going to the gym soon. And then I'll look at the clock and then I'll notice that. And I know that the bodybuilding and the meals and the training was my 100% focus for that day, and that was the main task that I put myself on. I
Yeah.
still can't like just I don't know. Just so much is going on that I just can't keep track of everything in like a timely manner. So like
Mm-hmm.
it just completely goes out.
Got you.
Hey, what's up?
Oh
Hey,
shit,
hey,
who
what's
was
happening?
that?
Yo,
Oh
what's
my
going
God.
on? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah, you're
got
good.
you.
All right, sick. I just
First,
had to reset up my stuff. Sorry.
oh, you're
No,
No,
good.
no,
You're
no.
you're
good.
good.
We're talking
First
about
guest in NBB podcast history right here.
Oh, wow.
Big moment.
Yo, I was gonna wear that shirt, Neil.
Oh, really? This is my
I
Yeah,
was gonna
favorite.
say I
This
was
is
gonna
one of
wear
yeah.
my
the one that
favorites
you're
for
wearing.
sure.
I was gonna wear that one. Oh, you were. Oh, were we matching right now? Yo,
I'm
you
wearing the
pull
black
that
one. I was
shit
gonna
out
wear
like it's like out to
the
here. You see this shit on me? It's
What's
tight on the
your
neck though, eh?
What's
Oh
your
yeah, it is for sure.
favorite?
What's my
What
what? Sorry.
What are some of your favorite pieces of apparel that you got? Do you like the oversized tees the best, or
Oh
hoodies, or
man.
what you think?
So this one's definitely one of my favorites. The material of this is so nice.
I love it.
Uh, I really love the flannels. The flannels are nice.
Do you guys
I'm
have
like,
I'm,
flannels?
I'm
Tyler and Josh, do you have the flannels? I
no,
don't
Nah,
either.
I'm not.
really?
I don't wear the flannels in the gym. It's not. It's not necessarily
dude.
my thing.
Yeah, no,
I don't in the
I'm
gym, but I do out in the wild.
I was
This
gonna say
wasn't
I'm in
all you.
Canada, so it's fucking cold here.
Yeah.
I'm from Wyoming. I'm assuming if I wear a flannel, I'm gonna look like white trash. So I just don't do it.
Bro, look at
Yo,
me,
get that
man.
cowboy hat.
Dude,
Can
picture
you
me
wear?
in
Yeah,
a
dude, it's
flannel
really
right
bad. I
now.
know, like with I'd have like
Yo,
that
the
straw in
red
my
flannel
mouth.
would look good with your hat right now.
Hell yeah. See? I actually wore a flannel out and about yesterday. I have this like bright yellow flannel that I break out in the fall when I'm feeling like fall season.
Feeling
Yeah.
spicy.
And I
It's like you
went and
have the
got a.
perfect aesthetic for somebody to wear a flannel. I don't know why.
You do.
I do.
You
No,
really
for
do.
sure.
I'm like,
I
It's
rock a
you look
flannel.
like
I'm
you could
not
be a
gonna lie to you.
lumberjack, dude.
What'd you say, Josh?
You definitely could be a career lumberjack.
Yeah,
Oh, easily.
100%.
you
You know,
could.
100%.
what is that commercial? The Loose Trading Co. You you're the illustration, bro.
Probably, yeah, you're
What
right.
Which
commercial?
one is this?
What is it? I've
It's
lost
Duluth,
called
it.
the Loose.
like the worker store, the workerman store. You'll get your Carhartt there and a package.
Oh, that must be a U.S. thing.
I've never
Because
seen the
Probably, yeah.
commercial. I've never
Probably.
seen the commercial, but I could tell I probably fit the bill for that. Yeah. Sounds like me. Sounds like me for sure. What's so ironic about that is I'm not outdoorsy at all. Like I don't like hiking. I don't spend time outside at all.
really,
Uh, I am not like a traditional like handy guy. Like I can't work on cars. I can't fix
do
anything. Like it's all looks.
you have
It's
like
all
really big hands? Is that
I
why?
do I do have large hands. Yeah, getting into like an engine bay. Oh my God, it's a
Yeah.
nightmare.
I won't listen to that excuse, bro. I have acromegaly, so like my hands are oversized for sure,
True.
and I've worked on cars my whole life. And actually, I will agree it is shitty to do, but like it's possible.
Yeah.
I have so many scars on my hands, dude. I don't even know what half of them are from, but
Yep.
I know a lot of them are from just shoving my hand in an engine bay and trying to get shit out of there, where it just
You have
does not
acrom
fit.
you have acromegaly, but I take growth hormone, so I feel like we're
It's about the
even.
same. Man. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
Sure.
that levels the playing field, you know?
No, but I've been juicing growth hormone technically since I was like 12 years old.
True. So you got a
Holy
head start.
shit.
You definitely got a head start.
Have you all taken growth before? Tyler, have
No,
you?
I've never taken it. I thought about
Okay.
Josh,
experimenting.
I
Josh,
to go for a short stint.
you should explain that
That's a
real
rich
quick so
man's drug.
nobody actually thinks you've been on GH since you were 12. Just in case no one
Basically,
falls.
acromegaly is just like my body makes too much growth hormone and insulin. That's about all it is. So, actually, what we're doing right now is we're trying to figure out exactly what to do about it and if that is the case because I got that blood work and everything done. I went to the endocrinologist recently, so we don't even know for sure. I was supposed to get an MRI on Friday, but I ended up missing that, so I have to reschedule it. But I have not been on growth hormone since I was 12. My body just makes too damn much of it.
That is a
But
crazy line right there.
I
That
also
sounds like a bar
diabetes.
in a song.
Yeah,
Really? I call it reverse diabetes. I think that's the best way to put it for the insulin thing because it's like instead of taking insulin to keep
Mhm.
up with the carbs that I eat, I kind of have to eat enough carbs to keep up with the insulin that my body's producing.
Yeah,
That's
huh?
wild.
So if
Yeah.
you don't have enough carbs in your diet, will you just go hypo like crazy between meals?
What I've noticed is it also depends on if I'm eating it. So like it almost is
Uh,
like I'm triggering the production of it when I eat it. So if I eat carbs and then I go too long without them after that, then it'll definitely happen. But if I wake up in the day and I don't eat at all, it doesn't seem to happen too bad, no.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's really
That's
strange. The
wild.
more carbs that I eat, the more that I'll notice it though. Like at the end of I have for my training day diet, I'm at like 850 grams of carbs. And
Hmm.
I'll notice being starving like when I'm trying to sleep at night. Like feeling like
Yeah.
not like hypo, but like when you're still like really, really hungry, like you're insulin
Yep.
sensitive and yeah, I get that feeling at night after my high carb days. Not so much on my rest days though.
That's really
So
interesting.
So what consists of your 800 carb day? Like the carbs that you're using for that?
Oh, it's all the
Or
basic stuff.
850?
It's all the
Pancakes,
basic
rice,
stuff. It's just a lot of it. So it's gonna be like
Okay. Like just rice,
oatmeal,
waffles.
oats.
bananas. Yeah,
Okay.
my breakfast is just a bunch of oatmeal and bananas, and then I've just got rice, cream of rice, literally all of the basic stuff, just in a surplus of it. And then for my breakfast and my pre-workout, it's Tyler's favorite thing ever. I get 80 grams of full sugar maple syrup.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
That's like 75
Maple
grams of
syrup.
carbs alone in those.
I got lots of that here for you guys.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sorry,
you're
Ashley
in
just
the.
messaged me.
Oh, you're good. I sent her the link. I wasn't sure if she was gonna make it or not, though.
Yeah, she said that she's
Oh, it says
leaving. She's leaving now, so maybe she'll be on in like a bit.
okay.
Okay. Is
Yeah,
her
If she
yeah.
is
doesn't
her
make it, it's
dog
no big
okay
deal. It's not
or
set up.
Sorry?
is her Josh? Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. What did you say, Neil?
Oh, I said, is her dog okay or whatever it is? She was at the
I think
vet.
so, yeah. She said
Oh,
she just ate something weird and she has not been eating today. Or she was throwing
Okay.
up and I don't
Oh,
know, hasn't been eating.
Uh,
So, yeah.
that's too
That used to
bad.
happen to my dog a lot. She used to eat grass a lot.
Hmm.
And then, but I heard that was because, like, if their stomach hurts, they'll go and eat grass. I don't know. My
yeah,
dog
yeah.
lived
They
for
will. They'll
like
make themselves throw up.
25 years almost. So, but she was like,
Damn.
yeah, she was a similar breed to the dog that Ashley has.
Yeah. What kind of
So,
dog?
my dog, she was a Maltese poodle.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
She was
Are
like
those
this
little?
big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
she was smaller than the normal breed or like
Gotcha.
the usual size of them. Like her mother was so small that she had to have a C-section and she passed. And then the sister, she had like a twin, I guess, or if I can, I don't know, whatever, a sister, and she passed as well. So my dog, when she was like eating a lot, she's full grown. She was like 3.5 pounds. Like
That's
she was
insane to think.
little, but
My
she
dog
lived for
is
so long.
115 and 135 pounds.
Bitch,
That's
that's like 5 more pounds
crazy.
than me.
Yeah.
That's
No, it's funny.
100,
What's up?
135 pounds, Josh, is your dog?
Yeah, he's a Great Pyrenees.
Holy shit. Is he
His
around? Can
She
I
paws,
see
probably
him?
sheds a lot,
dude,
eh?
I know I have big hands, but his paws are actually like the size of my hands. Like I can hold his hand, his paws like taking
Damn.
up this much space.
Wow.
Is
He's
he
big.
nearby? Can I see what
I
he
know,
looks like?
I want to see him.
That's crazy.
Come here. I love dogs so much. I was gonna
I do
impulsively buy
too.
one the other day.
Oh
This is him.
man.
See his fat
Okay.
head?
Oh, he's
Who's
He's
beautiful, dude. Holy
Oh,
shit.
and this one is
Yeah.
licking my face. Yeah.
Oh, who's that? He's
That's
so
Coda.
cute.
I've had him for.
Oh.
He turned 6 this December. I rescued Gromit like a year ago. Actually, a year ago in November.
Bro.
Wow.
love the name.
I love the name. That's
Tyler,
hilarious.
you have a
Everybody
dog
likes
too,
it.
right?
Yeah, I do. I have a husky.
Oh, I love
Well, I like
huskies.
huskies.
They're
Huskies are cute.
so, bro. My friend, he wants me to like walk his dog every now and then when he goes to like weddings and stuff. So I had to go walk her. When was it? Yesterday or the day before? And like you can tell that she's not full husky. Like she has wolf in her for sure. Like
Oh
she's
yeah.
massive,
Yeah.
dude.
That dog, the
This,
second one that you guys saw, he's a wolf hybrid too.
yeah. I think I asked you about him one time.
Uh-huh.
I think you
He's
posted a
he's
story
tall.
about him, and he's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Good looking dog.
anyway, so I'm on the walk with her, and like she needs like the chain because she's so strong, and she just loves to pull. So she saw a skunk. I literally got pulled 25 feet within 2 fucking seconds. I was like, my knee is about to blow out again. Like it took me like off the ground. I couldn't believe it.
Oh
I was
god.
like, oh my god, this is a liability, man. And I love these dogs. They're my favorite breed, but I was like, I'm realizing that I think I'm too small to own one. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's not gonna work for
my
me.
girlfriend. I'm scared of letting my girlfriend walk Coda specifically because Gromit's really good on the leash. But if Coda sees something, he's stronger than me. Like he'll pull me. She's
Yeah.
like less than half of what I weigh. She's less than what he weighs, so it scares me to be like, oh, if she takes him out there, and he starts taking off, she's gonna just be like flying behind
Yeah.
him, holding the roof like that in the air.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I was like, my knee is gone again, for sure. Like, she pulled me so fucking hard. Yeah. But it humbled me because I thought I was a lot stronger, but clearly I'm
You just gotta
not.
that's the new gym goal. You just gotta get strong enough to own a big ass dog.
Dude,
True. Or
crazy.
or be like me and just buy a
But
Frenchie.
the thing is,
I'm getting a
Frenchies are
dude, I am.
Frenchies are super expensive here, man. Like, I don't
Frenchies
know
are
how they.
expensive everywhere. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Yeah. Well, now, so apparently, speaking of, you mentioned about your dog having or your dog's mom having a C-section.
Yeah.
Frenchies apparently, I found this out after I bought mine. Their heads are so big in
Oh,
proportion to their body that it's impossible for a Frenchie to naturally give birth to a puppy. So every time a Frenchie is born, they have to
they
do a
have to do a
C-section.
C-section?
So now
Oh,
I
that's
don't know about
sad.
there, but here they're illegal. So
Really?
now,
They're
like, it's
illegal in
illegal.
Washington.
It's illegal to
You're in Washington? I didn't
breed
know
them, I
that.
believe. Yeah, I'm in
Oh,
Washington.
okay.
Yeah,
I have
so
family
Where
there.
you?
they're just right up there. Huh?
You have family there
Well,
in
I have
Washington?
family in Fairfax, Virginia. So it's like we
Oh,
just say.
I have a
Well,
lot of
what?
family in Washington.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I was actually supposed to go live there in it was like during COVID, I guess you could say, so like 2020 ish. I was gonna go there, and because my cousin bought a house, and he's like, "Well, just come here. I got a PC for you. You can stream." Because that's when I was streaming full time. So I
Mm.
was like, "Fuck it, I'll just do that." Or I'll work at a gym there or something.
You
Mhm.
talking about
So
You're talking Washington State, like Seattle, Washington?
no, sorry.
Oh,
Washington
okay.
D.C. When she said
Different
Yeah,
Virginia, I was
Washington.
like,
I was
when she
gonna
said
say
Virginia, I
Oh,
was thinking like,
Virginia.
yeah, because that's why I was like, "Are we thinking of the same one?"
Yeah. Got
Okay,
I don't
you.
got
understand
it.
why we have to have two Washingtons in the United States and make no goddamn
Right?
sense and just
Like,
It is really weird. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, my
yeah. I
whole
don't get
life,
it.
when people have asked me where I live, I have to specify Washington State for that very reason.
Got it.
yeah.
Got
So, yeah.
it.
So wait a minute, you just glossed over something I didn't know. So you used to stream full time, like Twitch stream?
I did, yeah. Call of Duty
Cool.
Warzone.
Dude,
So
no.
I was gonna ask you guys about
Yeah.
that. I was like, do you guys play at all? Because they just got rid of Warzone 1. Like they blew it up like a
Oh,
couple days
really?
ago. It's very sad.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, but I play like antisocial single player games by myself. I don't know. I
Okay, so
don't get
like
online enough.
what's an antisocial? I'm trying to think of like
Well, like right now, the newest one that I've been playing is Starfield. I like those
okay.
like RPG
Yep.
story driven that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I played Skyrim. I played the Fallout games. Uh, what else? I like The Witcher.
Oh yeah.
I
The
like
show is horrible though.
yeah. It was a disappointment for
It
sure.
was. It was.
Yeah, it could have been a lot better. But I do
I
like some
wish I
shooters too.
could
Like I played Halo back in the day. I played a little bit of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But just campaigns. Like I'm not an online guy.
Well, that's what I mainly used to play, but then Call of Duty was
Mhm,
Call of Duty and Gears of War, some Halo, but
mhm.
Call of Duty was mainly the only like multiplayer or
Okay.
battle royale game that I really really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How
yeah.
will be a
long did it?
liability any multiplayer game that I am with because I don't have this is part of the ADHD thing too. We were talking a lot about ADHD just before you hopped on. I can't sit there and focus on a game. I would much rather I just fuck around and talk to my friends and have fun and die like 90 times when I play.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Like with some people, like if we're that's why like when I did stream, like there was like certain groups I would play with, like because there's sometimes I'm just I'll get baked and I'll just wanna fuck around. But then there's times that I'm really competitive, so like I wanna win. So I have like my super serious friends who are like KD is like fucking 5, and then there's like my other friends below 1.
Yeah, see, I
So
can't play with competitive people if they take it too seriously. It takes all the fun out of it for me because you get all the people too, like you shit talk the other teams. I literally don't like anytime I'm able to talk to the other teams, I just try to make them laugh with some really stupid stuff that makes no sense. I just talk.
I
Like
love
I
that.
can't I can't just
I
and
like
I don't even
both
know a lot
though.
of played video games. It's been a long time. I would like to be able to.
I could totally picture you streaming, Josh. I don't know why. I could picture you
Yeah.
playing a game, and I could picture you just like not even really focusing on the game, like you said, just like kind of dying and running around, but like just talking. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
I think that
I
would be
feel like
really
people
easy.
would like that.
I can talk really easily, but like I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
When I try to play, because I used to like playing video games a lot when I was younger. Now when I try
yeah.
to sit down and do it, I'll get bored in like 10 or 15 minutes unless I'm playing with a good group of people.
Mm.
And then I'm
See,
also
for
particular
me,
who I want to play with, and I don't have that many friends that I would even play video games with in the first place.
yeah.
Well, a new Warzone's gonna come out at the end of October,
I'll
There
so
you
we're
play.
go,
gonna squad
dude.
up. We're all gonna play, and
There
we'll
you
make a video
go.
out of it. How about
I'm,
that?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm
That'd be
gonna
awesome.
immediately,
I'm down.
immediately.
I'm down. See, this sucks though because I've been running into this my whole life too because I'm not that good at video games, but I play
Yeah.
them. You guys at least don't really play them, so when you die a bunch, you have an excuse. Like no one expects you to be good. But I play just enough video games that people expect me to be better than I am.
Oh,
I'm
I feel
not
like
very
everybody
good.
expects you to be better than you are, though. Like at least like when
That's
I was
fair.
streaming, it's like it didn't matter how well I did. Like there's always gonna be somebody who's gonna like shit on me for something, you
Really?
know?
How'd you not
But
kill
that's
him?
like yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like with bodybuilding, it's the same exact thing. It's
Yeah.
like you could literally be the best in the world. You could be
Yeah.
Hottie, you could be Rami, you could be literally anyone who's been killing it the last couple years. Oh, he's shit. He shouldn't have
Yeah.
won. This person's like, bro, what the fuck?
Like,
I would,
And like, I
I'd
don't
be
know.
like, who are you to judge for one?
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
just yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but it's just
I,
normal.
I would even venture to say that in bodybuilding and I guess just in everything, the more success somebody has, the more people shit on them. Like
1000%.
when people are losing, everyone's like rooting for them, and then once they
Yeah.
start winning, they're like, "He didn't deserve to win."
Yeah, yeah,
Or she
yeah.
didn't deserve to
I
win.
think there's
You
a lot
know?
of reasons for that. Part of it would just be because people start rooting for the underdog after a while, but another part of it is
Always.
just straight up insecurity and jealousy to a point where people
Yep.
don't understand,
Yeah.
like, oh, like instead of being like, this person has something that I want, or this person's good at something I want to be good at, I want to try to work harder and be better. They're like, oh, this person's doing this. I'm supposed to be that. I'm supposed to be good at this and that. And they shouldn't do this. They don't deserve this. They're not me. Like,
Yeah.
depends on the person. I feel
Deflecting at its finest.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's all
And like
they're just completely projecting all of their insecurities onto other people for no reason at all instead of just like do better.
yeah. Well, that's what the internet allows now, right? It's like there's no like so I was watching a podcast with I'm a huge fan of Theo Vaughn. I don't know if you guys like
I
Theo
love
Vaughn.
Yeah,
Theo
he's
Vaughn.
Yeah, so
Theo
I
Vaughn's
just I
good.
just saw him actually live a
Really?
month ago. Yeah, it was great. So he was doing a podcast with Jordan Peterson while he was here. I don't know if you guys know who Jordan Peterson is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
they were talking about like the internet and how like so he's being sued for like all this crazy shit stuff that's just literally doesn't even make sense, but he was just saying like on the internet it's allowing people to just like do whatever the fuck they want and there's no consequences at all. It's giving you this like not fake identity, but it's like you're able to just make an account and you can say whatever you want publicly and
Yep.
there's absolutely no repercussions to it. Whereas like if you say something to somebody, I don't know, at a store and it's like, okay, that you could be sued or you could be arrested for like harassment. But it's like, what about on the internet?
Exactly.
It's like you cannot
Mhm.
control that at all. So yeah, I would recommend watching it. It's such a great episode. I haven't finished it yet, but I was about like an hour and a half in, and they talked about that a lot. And yeah, it just made me think about like, I think that that's why within bodybuilding too, it's just become this huge. I don't know. There's just so much negativity with it, even when there's so many positives to it.
Well, just
Mhm.
there isn't going to be consequences when people want to say shit online because instead of like being face to face with that person, it is just your screen. So a lot of people kind of remove the they remove the fact that you're an actual living person with feelings too when they're typing on a screen because to them and their perception of the world, you live on their phone screen as their entertainment, so they can say and do whatever they want with you. So that's why there's like it bothers me when I will get like sexually harassed in my comments on TikTok or something over nothing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bullshit. If you said this to me in person, you would be getting arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like
literally.
it's just okay and you're comfortable to say that to somebody online. Like it really isn't that different. You're still saying it, you know? It's just
For
weird.
real.
Yeah, so another thing he mentioned was that like it's giving power to those who like really shouldn't have it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't just like go to your neighbor's
Big
house,
facts.
go into a house, say
Mhm.
something, and that only reaches that one person. Like this is the opportunity for them to say one thing and it reaches thousands. And it affects
Yeah.
thousands
Mhm.
at one time. So it's like, yeah, pretty crazy, man. The internet's
Yeah.
getting fucking insane.
And when you say it's giving people a fake identity, it's really not. It's actually really showing who they truly are, realistically.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
showing the ignorance and their biases and all of them.
You can't be like a self-aware person though, like and actually self-reflect and still put out negativity into the world like that. Like it might be
Yeah.
who you are, but it's who you are because it's very subconscious. Because you don't actually understand the reasons behind the way that you feel about these things if you're projecting some kind of hatred onto somebody. Because I believe any kind of negativity that you see is not really going to, well, it depends on, I guess, not everything. But for most people, if you're getting negativity, it's not your fault. It's that person entirely. Like it's a
Oh
complete
yeah.
jealousy thing 99% of the time. Unless you are an actual piece of shit and you kind of deserve the hate.
It depends on the person's track record. I think
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everything is always on the internet. So if you look at one thing, like you want to give him the benefit of the doubt or her the benefit of the doubt, and then you actually see other comments that she's made, and it's like, okay, no, you really are a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh
Have you
and
guys-
Milan, you guys both have bigger social followings than Tyler and myself. Do you find that, um, like, do you guys get a lot of hate and shit from people on your posts? Like, do you get a lot of shitty comments that you have to go through, or not so much?
Honestly, not really. Like, depends on, like, in terms of my body, but like, I don't know. It's all been pretty positive for me the last like maybe year and a bit. Uh, and like people ask me if I get like weird like messages and shit. I don't get that. I don't get any of that. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
really?
Like I'll get
Send
like
feet pics.
yeah.
Josh,
Oh,
I
okay.
bet
I've
you
gotten
do.
that. I got that once. I got that one time. That was it.
I've got
Okay.
that more
And
than once.
I
knew
could
it.
imagine. I could
I knew
imagine
it.
you guys have. But
They like,
Suck.
Josh,
yeah,
you wear a
no.
size
I
15?
don't really
Josh, you wear a size
get
16? Let me
any
see that
negative
big toe.
stuff. Like if I do, so there was a point where I was doing a lot of like question boxes, but I would do like videos for them. And I'd
Mhm.
have like people like fake profiles asking me if I'd taken PEDs before as a female.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm like that's like the only like negative thing, and it's like I don't lie about anything. Like if you have something to ask me, I'll answer it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really get any negative stuff. I got like a little bit of negativity with like some of my streaming stuff, I guess, like with COD, because I guess like some guys get offended when women play COD. I don't know. It's really
Yeah, how
weird.
dare you ruin their masculinity? Video games
Yeah.
are for dudes. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Bro, sometimes when they would
How
hear,
dare
like if
you.
I would come into the lobby and they would hear that I'm a female, they'd be like, "This a girl?" I'm like,
Girl in the
"Yeah."
chat, girl in the
What
chat.
the fuck's the problem?
You're like, yeah, I'm about to whoop your ass too.
Yeah,
They don't
literally.
know how to
Oh,
talk
dude,
to
I would
dudes.
talk so much shit, but yeah, no.
It's not
To
hate,
answer
it's
your
just the
question,
first
no
female voice they've
negativity.
ever heard.
Yeah.
First female
What?
voice they've ever heard in their life.
I
That's all it is. They're just shocked. They're like, holy shit, women
They're like,
exist.
oh my
Real.
god, a
That's
girl is talking to us.
that's a thing now. That's like a like within like the younger generation. Like they all there's a thing called I think it's on Discord. It's like it's called e-sex or something, where it's like they take their e-virginity, but it's like a virtual.
Oh,
That's very
Yeah, because
Oh,
they're too
that's
scared to like
so
actually.
sad.
That's so
Yeah.
sad.
It's very sad.
No, I can't even fathom that this is a real
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, dude. Can you
What?
imagine?
You imagine if like
Dude,
Yeah,
when
I've
I
never
heard
heard
it,
that.
I was like,
I'm
that must be a
Googling.
joke.
I wonder
I mean,
if
so
eventually
I forget who told me about it, but it was like it was on a podcast just talking about like the percentage of the generation that really hasn't. They just don't want to socialize at all, like in
Yeah.
I
person.
love
It's all
urban
online.
dictionary so much.
Wow.
Hey, want to e-fuck? Get the e-virgin bug.
Oh my
Virgin
god.
bug.
Yeah, it's a thing, man.
I want to know what is the criteria for losing your Eve virginity? Like, what do you
I,
have to do online for this to?
A Minecraft server. If you have a Minecraft server
parentheses,
with somebody,
insert.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Like, do you like act it
Yeah,
out via text, or like how does this
have
work?
you
that
seen
show's
Black
crazy.
Mirror? Have you guys seen Black Mirror?
I've seen a
Uh,
handful of
I
episodes.
don't
Yeah.
think so. I think
Okay, so there's
that's.
an episode with Anthony Mackie. Do you guys know who that is? He's the Black Falcon on the
Yeah.
Avengers, and then he gets the
Yeah.
shield and
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, so that
I
guy.
think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google him.
Hopefully people who are listening to this know where I'm going with this. But there's
Oh
an
God.
episode of
I'm
Black
nervous.
Mirror. For those of
Mhm.
you who do not know, Black Mirror is like a show that just like each episode is a completely different scenario of something.
Oh my
And in
god.
this
Yeah.
scenario, there's this video game, and it's like Mortal Kombat kind of, but instead it's like virtual. So like you put the headset thing on, you're in the game. So his
Okay.
friend got it for him
Yeah,
for his
it's
birthday, and they're playing
it's
it
the
together. And
funniest,
one of their friends joins as
funniest
like a
thing.
girl character,
The
and then they just fuck in this video
funniest
game.
thing.
Straight up.
It leaves you.
And then
It
they
leaves you
fucking
jaw
kiss in real life
So I was
as
like, that's
dudes
my
to make
favorite
sure that
episode.
they're not actually in love with each other.
I watch it every day.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I watch
Bruh.
that episode every night.
Oh, Tyler's frozen. Oh, no, he's back.
My
Sorry, I
my
was just
Wi-Fi's
messaging
not
Ashley.
been so great, so
Oh, for
your
real?
guys' pictures haven't really been fun for me most of this time anyways. I don't know why.
They've been frozen?
No, it's not frozen. It's just the internet connection because I don't know what it is about the Wi-Fi lately where I'm at, but it's just not been very good. I was going to join on my
Oh.
phone, but then I wouldn't have been able to really see everybody that well.
Right.
You look
And then I was going to
crystal
join on my
clear for me
iPad, but I
today,
think
Josh.
the camera on my iPad is like really trash.
You really do.
You look
Mm.
like extra cleared to me today, Josh. For some reason, you look
I
really
changed
good.
my
Oh, well, there
I
you
cleaned the
go.
computer screen this time.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
I also think it matters how much of like the windows behind me I'm blocking because anytime I let this light
For
in, all
sure.
of this shit gets like a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Ashley talked about starting when I was on prep, but then I was so in the weeds. Like, guys,
That's
I
like
was-
for us.
I
That's
was
what I was gonna
rest
ask
in
you.
peace in my grave.
We tried
Sorry?
to start the podcast a couple times, but it was during all of our preps because we were all prepping for different shows. I think we had even
Oh, yeah,
talked
that's
about this.
right. We were. Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
All of us.
So
We all
It
prepped
was-
this year, eh?
Yep.
yeah,
Wow.
it wasn't until after USA's where we're finally able to buckle down and get this done. And I didn't even end up doing USA's. It was just a bunch of other stuff. So now it's been very consistent, but it was
Yeah.
a process at first. I was going to ask you about the podcast that you talked to me about with Ash. When's that going to go up? Do you guys have
Yeah.
any plans for that?
So we originally, the day that you guys, I saw the upload, we had planned to film that day, but then Ash said she wanted to get like more stuff to film it. But I just told her, I was like, yeah, like no rush on the stuff, and even if you want to just use your phone for now, like it's not a big deal if it's like good quality shit, you know? Just get it out there and just talk cuz we spoke, so we had a Zoom meeting. I don't know if you guys were I'm not sure where you guys. I don't know if you guys were in it. But
was it?
it was with I don't remember how long ago it was, honestly. My life's been a little bit of a blur. But I remember Ashley and I spoke after, then we had a meeting with Ben, and we were like, yeah, we would like to start our own like podcast. Like, how do you feel? Is it okay with you? Kind of thing. Like, kind of connected to Hostile, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was all about it. And then I just got so weeded with prep. Like, I was on my deathbed like the next week because I was just pushing hard for like the first show, and then I got sick. So then I had to do another 2 shows after that while I was sick. So it was just, yeah, I was like, my brain is gone. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're hoping to start soon. That's why I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll do a little collab here, and then we can kind of roll with whatever. So
That'd be
Hold on,
cool. Do you guys
how
have, like,
did
a
your
theme?
shows?
sorry.
What were you going to ask, Neil?
I was gonna say, how did your shows go this year? I'm just gonna pull up your Instagram for people that aren't familiar.
Oh my god, gonna blush. They went pretty well. Like, I mean, so I did 3. So I did, my first one was Fuad's show, which
Oh, cool.
was
Yeah.
in May.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be down there somewhere because I've been
Okay.
doing.
Everybody sees tatted from
Yeah, everybody sees the tats. I know. I had so many people think that those were real. Like it was
I saw
like
that when
a
you
social
posted that
experiment.
too. I was so confused about it, and I wanted to ask you because I was like, she didn't. Well, like I saw one, and I was like, oh, obviously, whatever. And then like I saw you post another picture like that, like weeks later, and I was like, wait, did she just like go get a ton done all at once for some reason? I'm very, very confused. That's some shit
Yeah,
I would
so
do.
after the show, the van show, I kind of like I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with the rest of my season because I won my class in van and then I was in the overall and I've been in the overall a couple times for the pro card and I always seem to just miss it. So I was like, fuck, like I really don't know what to do. There's like 3 shows left, but I was like super sick, so I was like, I don't know. It's going through like kind of a rough time. So I like didn't post for like a couple weeks. And like at that point, like when I was competing, I was posting quite often. So I was like, you know what? We were going to a music festival and I was like, I saw these tattoos. I don't know how it fucking came into my brain. I have no clue. I was like, I want to dress up for this thing, but I'm not trying to wear like just nip covers and like, you know how it is at a festival?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to wear, I'm okay.
Yep.
So I'm like,
Yep.
what way can I dress up without me like having to do that type of shit? So I was like, fucking tattoos. I was like, I want to get tatted. So then I looked it up and they were just like these temporary tattoos and I was like, it's perfect times to fucking do it because everybody's not seen me for a couple weeks. So I was like, what's up? This is what
Well, I'm
this is
back.
what I've been doing. Yeah. It worked.
Style
It
change.
worked.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. But sorry, I totally got off track there with the shows.
Oh no.
So yeah, I did
Everything was
the
off track for us here. We were always off
Right.
track.
This
It's like-
has been a fluid conversation on this podcast.
We
just
literally started the podcast talking about ADHD. So
rolled. We're just rolling.
Work.
that should be the name of this video.
Should
ADHD.
be. Yeah,
Okay.
this episode is called the ADHD episode.
I definitely have that for sure.
Mhm.
But yes, so first show came out second. I wasn't entirely happy about that, I'll be honest, but that's also because like I don't know how you guys are with competing, but like I put my all into it, and when I don't really like to lose because I'm like with bodybuilding, I'm like fuck, it's so expensive, it takes up so much time. Like
Who's here just to do it?
Dude,
Yeah, no.
there's so many people like that.
There are a lot
You
of
would
people
be
like that,
surprised.
but
Yeah,
not
you
here.
would be surprised.
Come on,
Yeah.
you see what podcast we on?
There's some people that are like, you know, I would like, you know, I'm like hoping for like top 10. I'm like, I'm
No.
good. Like, I would rather not even do a prep to try to
Yeah.
get top 10. Like,
No.
at least as an amateur, you know? Like,
Right.
I don't know.
right.
I've done 12 shows, so I'm like, I just don't like to lose. So,
Mhm.
yeah, second place, the first one, I was a little bit upset, but I knew I wasn't like at my best, which was kind of concerning. So then I was like, okay, fuck. Nationals is in, I think it was 3 weeks after. And I prepped myself. So I was like, at that point, I was just overthinking everything. Like my peak week for Toronto was
Did you just prep yourself in between?
for the first 2, I prepped myself, and then the couple shows before that as well. So I was just like, I was used to that. But this time around, it was like, I knew that I had to really dig deep. Like, really fucking dig deep to the point where, like, I'm not going to think clearly at all. And then I started to overthink my peak week to the point where I'm trying to look at myself, like, every half an hour. And the criteria for bikini, like, kind of changed. Like, at this point, this was when New York happened. And they went for a more, like, muscular look. And I was like, fuck, I'm really small. So I need to fill out. But at the same time, I'm like, if I fill out too much, I think it's like that. This is going to sound crazy, but like certain with Asians, you can't load them too much because we're already kind of like round. But if you load too much or cut water too much, then we lose the roundness and we'll lose the lines. So then we look stringy. I don't know. That's just like been a.
No, I
At
believe
least
that. From my knowledge, I know that different ethnic groups actually do carry glycogen differently, so that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I started like I try to like look back on my notes and like really dig into this peak because I was like, this is my first shot at nationals again. I did pretty well my last two nationals, so I was like, okay, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, no, it was horrible. I started getting my head so much. I fucked up my water, my sodium, my carbs, everything. I was just overthinking it, and then my I just looked like shit, man. Like it was probably one of the worst I had looked. But uh, then I hired Julian after that because he's a good friend of mine. So I hired him for Van, and then we did 6 weeks into Van, and I lost a decent amount of weight. But it was good to kind of take that like pressure off my shoulders, you know.
Yep.
So
The less you have to
yeah.
think about, the better. So if you have somebody just calling the shots
Yes.
for you, it helps quite a bit.
Oh man, and it was a really good experience because Julian is coached by Jansen, and also so before I worked with John Meadows at one point, and
Okay.
he was probably like my favorite. His layout with the diet was so good, the training was so good. So when I started being trained by Julian, I noticed that his protocols are essentially the same, and I asked him, I was like, have you worked with John before? Because like this is so similar. And then he let me know that like our peak process and a lot of the stuff was Jansen's way of doing things, which was really cool because then I ended up watching Justin's peak week for Chicago. Right? It was Chicago, yeah.
Chicago,
and
yep.
it was very similar. And I was like, this is fucking sick. Like it was a really cool learning experience for me because it was like I had not taken that approach yet. So yeah, it was really cool.
How was if they wouldn't mind you sharing this information?
Yeah.
How was the peak different from what you had done in the past?
It was very so my peak for Fuad's show was similar to how Julian did my peak for Van. I kept the food very low, very low. The only difference would be Julian had me doing a lot of fats kind of leading up.
Yep,
And
fat
then
loading.
I didn't take a diuretic. I didn't take a diuretic for Fuad's, but I took a diuretic for Toronto, which I loaded too much with the diuretic. So that was my fuck up because I was freaking out. I was like, okay, maybe I should take one, but I took it too late. So for Van, we did take a diuretic as well. We took, I think, probably the same amount. I think it was, we were doing 1/8 of a diazide. We started that on the Thursday. Whereas when I did it, I did it Friday night. So by the time it hit me, like, I was already off stage, you know? So, yeah, so we did higher fats. And then the day of the show, it was like, dude, my water was probably like 25 to 50 milliliters, like every meal. But we ended up doing, yeah. And then we cut water pretty heavily, like Friday. Whereas for Fuad's, I cut water pretty heavily. But then for Toronto, I didn't. Because they told me, so at Fuad's, they're like, we would like to see you a little bit fuller. Like, you looked a little flat. And they asked me what I did, and I said I cut my water by, I think I did 6 starting Monday. Because I'm small. I'm like only 100 pounds, pretty much. Like, stage ready, I'm like, well, only 100 pounds. So I was doing like 6 leading up to Thursday, I did 4, and then Friday, I did 2 for Fuad's, which I felt worked well. But then for Toronto, I did a little bit too much. Like, I kept the water in too much, so I could have cut that. But Julian we started cutting my water, I think, like, decreasing it on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think I've noticed a big mistake that a lot of people have been making when they do peak weeks is they do cut water completely. And what I've learned is you don't want to cut it like entirely out. A lot of people cut water on Friday and then they don't have any water on show day. And that works for some people, but not the majority. You still need to
yeah.
you need to have water and sodium and carbs all together to fill out. So a lot of people kind of
Yeah.
miss on that.
Well, it really depends too on the category, really, right? Like,
Yep.
unfortunately, bikini is going to be very different in comparison to an open. I fucking wish I was an open bodybuilder, bro. I wish I could eat like that or carb up like that. Are you kidding me? I'd have
Oh,
like
yeah.
one little nibble, and I'm like, okay, filled out.
Mm.
Like,
The
yeah.
grass is
So,
always greener. I promise.
pardon?
The grass is always greener. I promise.
I know,
Very
but
true.
I wish that I could
it's
eat a bikini bodybuilder diet.
no, you don't.
No,
Oh
you
yeah, I do.
don't.
No, you
You'd be
don't.
like 2 days after, you'd be like, I'm so hungry.
Yeah,
Not
dude.
even,
You'd
not
be
even
going
2
I have
days.
hypo and
much to
shit,
eat,
passing
so I'd
out.
rather eat less, dude. Like if I can. Oh yeah, I'd be
Bro,
fucking that way, but
I think it was like the week. It's such a blur, man, because I was just dying. I think it was a week out or 2 weeks out. We ended up dropping my calories to like 800. And I've never done that.
It's-
Ooh.
I saw that number and I was like, I had to do like a 12 take. I was like, am I reading this right? Like 800. Wild.
That's
Couldn't
less
sleep.
you
than
push,
less than
you
my
push
first
hard.
meal.
Yeah, see?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, I don't even
Actually,
know if I have a meal that's even 800 calories. They're probably all over that.
oh, I'm sure they are, man.
Oh, that's
One thing about bikini judging that I've always wondered, as far
Yeah.
like from a competitor's perspective, I've heard that like the judges have a very specific criteria of like how lean they want you to be. They don't want you to be too lean, but they
Yeah.
want you to be a certain level of conditioned, right? And also muscularity. Does that like mess with your head at all of knowing like, okay, they want me to be lean but not too lean? Like how do you find the right balance?
So for me, I'm very small. Like, and when I say small, like my structure is very small.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also if I don't come in lean enough, I just look soft because I don't have that much muscle yet, I guess. Uh, so it's weird because every show I do, I have different like feedback. Like it's like, so 2020 when I did the amateur O, this was probably like the biggest and fullest I'd ever been on stage. And they told me they're like, you're on the brink of like too much. It's too much. So then I was like, okay, so I need to come in like smaller, I guess. I knew it could have probably been a little bit leaner. It was definitely not the leanest I'd been on stage, but it was probably the most like complete, I guess. I was a little bit spilled over, but I think with bikini, sometimes you can get away with that based on what they're going for that year. But then this year, I did know, or the last year, since Laura Lee's been in the mix and, you know, Jen, they all came in a lot more conditioned within the last couple years. So I think that that's what everybody was aiming for. But sometimes that can really, really take away from the shape. Because with bikini, it's like, it's not really that much muscle, but if you're too lean, then it's going to take away from the silhouette. So
Sure. Yeah.
it really is hard to find that balance. Like come in too lean, then you kind of lose the glutes, but then also you need the tie-ins, but then you can't have like an etched out like hamstring, or you can't have any
Yeah.
like not a lot of lines in your quads when you walk. So it's really, really, really
That sounds
tough.
so tedious.
Wasn't Laura
Yeah.
Lee's feedback in 2022 or 2021 that she was too lean, and then she came back in 22 and won because she was a little bit more.
Yeah, so she had put on 8 pounds between the Olympia, and then I think the first one that she had done was the Arnold. Yes. So she went and did the Arnold, and then after that she won, I think it was Pittsburgh, New York, and maybe one other one. But yeah, she was too lean. And the thing with her is I've heard she's really hard to peak. And I find the same. Like if I don't eat a certain amount, or like I can change within like half an hour. Like that happened to me at the Olympia, where I was too cold backstage, so I started to hold a lot of water. Like I couldn't warm up. Like there was like I lost all my lines. It was really weird. Like I still, like I said, it was like the fullest and biggest look I had ever had, but it was just fucking weird. And then other times I've been too stringy. I can't fill out where like my bikini is literally falling off of me. Like Van, I probably lost like between prejudging and finals, like probably lost a couple pounds
Well,
because we were like, we should keep you like peeled for finals. Like that's what Julian and I kind of agreed on. Because we were looking at all the other class winners, and we're like, okay, like we want to be able for you to stand out. Uh, which I think I did, but it was not like the look they wanted a little bit fuller. So I think we probably should have carved me up a little bit more for that. But yeah,
That's why
it's really hard, man.
bikini's hard compared to a lot of other classes because it is a lot of a balancing act. Like it is,
yeah.
you can go too far one way or the other really, really easily within a day. Whereas with the men's classes, it really is just about like keep as much muscle as you can and get as lean as you possibly can. You know, the peak isn't
Yeah.
like easy. Like we still have to fill out and it's hard to peak people still. But when it comes to bikini, it's like the peaking is not to bring out the leanest and most detail. It's like I don't know. It's so weird. It's definitely different.
It's
Well,
hard, man.
well, and if I would imagine there's way more variables with the peak, uh, since you're having to like do a balancing act with conditioning. Because I know, like
Yeah.
for myself and for open bodybuilders, if we're completely inside out peeled, fat free, you can't really. I mean, you can mess up the peak, especially if you're flat, but
Yeah.
you can only mess it up so much, right? Like for example, myself, I know that when I get into the kind of condition that I was in, like for USA's, I can't physically spill over. Like I can't physically consume enough food in order to make myself spill over. Like my stomach
Mhm.
will be too full before I spill over.
Yeah.
But if you're having to leave like a thin layer of body fat, it's probably way easier to spill over, right? Because there's a lot more potential for that. So that's probably a
Yeah.
lot trickier to navigate, I would imagine, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's pretty hard. And then it's also like with bikini, you have to have the like the paper thin waist. And it's
Yeah,
like, how do you try to fill out without blowing out your waist?
yeah.
Oh yeah. I dealt that in
That's
classic too. I have to pull a vacuum,
And it's like
but I
most
also eat like
people
a ton of
or
food.
most bikini, it's best not to do like a dirty carb up, you know?
mhm,
Like it's just too much of a risk because
mhm.
it's just there's that fine line, right? So it's really really hard to
Yeah.
to nail it. But I think that the approach we took for Van was very good. It was just a little bit I felt I was a little bit flat for finals, but then I started to fill out the more I posed. I tend to I do find that when I'm on stage for a little bit longer and I kind of get the blood in my legs, I can start to fill out. But sometimes you guys know how it is. Like
Mhm.
you only have 2 minutes on stage. If you're fucking not filled out or you're not on point, the second that a judge may look at you, it's over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If they see you at the beginning before you kind of get that hardness and fill out and bring out
Oh,
pop,
Mhm.
then that's what they saw. But are you
Yeah.
still working with
Yeah.
Julian?
Right now, no. Only because I ended up taking like a lot of time off the gym. Because I
Mhm.
think Josh knows. But last year when I was prepping, I tore my sartorius and meniscus when I was 3 weeks out.
mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that started to flare up a bit near the end. And I was like, fuck, I
Yeah.
need to just chill. I ended up like retaking my I was taking BPC and TB 500, so I was like I think like 2 weeks out of Van or a week out of Van. I was like, I need to start that again. And then after the show, I was like, I just need a break. So I took like probably 4 weeks off, and then I tried to reverse diet. It doesn't really work for me, unfortunately. So
You also bake
I,
too. So that'd be pretty hard.
yeah, yeah. I
If
mean,
you're
that was
around it, dude,
after.
like,
Yeah, and I work at a restaurant too, so it's like I've always been
oh,
surrounded
really?
by food, and if I need to like refrain, then I will. But
Yeah.
I did tell myself, like, bro, like I was 100 pounds. That was the lowest I'd ever been for any show. So I was like, I need to just get the weight back up. Like I feel like I'm gonna die. Like my joints are fucked. Like everything is fucked. So I was like, I just need to get back to baseline, and I feel so much better now.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, which I feel comfortable with doing. And it's kind of how I prefer it, to be honest. Like for a prep, I do want somebody there, like especially for the last couple weeks, because
A
mentally
lot of it's mental, though.
I'm realizing that I can't handle that. So, I'm thinking of possibly doing a show next year, like, I don't know, maybe end of the year.
Mm.
But I really want to grow right now. Like, that's my biggest thing is I want to train as if I'm going into wellness, but still stay in bikini because I think that'll be a good look for
Hell
bikini
yeah.
because that's what it's kind of going
Nice.
towards right now. And I'm so small, so I think it'll benefit me a lot. So just
Yeah.
growing.
Grow
Do you
time,
think
baby.
that?
Yeah.
Do you think
Yo,
that
really
the
quick.
kids? Oh, what were you gonna say, Tyler?
I'm about to get out of here. I got another call to hop on. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you're good,
yeah.
brother. We've been on for a little over an hour anyway, so we can kind of start to wrap up. But yeah, if you got a jet, go for it, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll talk to y'all later. Good seeing you, Milan.
Bye.
All right, buddy. Later.
Peace, guys.
Time.
Oh, damn! I
Whoa.
forgot. I completely
Whoa.
forgot. This is what happened. Changes
Big
up all
change of
day.
layout, guys.
Yeah. Just a
Uh,
fucking
that,
zoom in there.
that's cool though. That's always exciting. Starting, I'm in the same boat. I just started a really long off season. I'm probably going to compete next. Arnold Amateur 2025. It's the first national show of 2025.
Yeah.
And I found out that my qual actually I'm qualified through that show.
Really?
So I don't even have to requal. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the same for bikini. It probably is because the Arnold Classic is the first national show of the year. They accept 2 full years of qual. So like my 2023 qualifies me for 2025. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that, and I've done the Arnold
I did
Amateur
not
before.
know that. Because,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I've been wanting to do that show for years now. Like,
Do
since I
it.
started
I had a bad
competing.
experience.
You
Oh,
had a
really?
bad
I had a bad
experience?
experience. Oh, I did it. Okay, it's not really the show's fault. So first, that was my first like national show, pro qualifier. I was only 20 years old. That was actually the first real prep that I'd ever done too. The first real prep I've ever done in my life. This was COVID year, so it was 2020. The night
Oh.
before the show, they sent out an email that they were going to cancel the amateur. So like I'd spent all this money, I did this whole entire prep, and I thought that they were going to cancel the show literally one day out after I had already fucking gotten to Ohio and everything. So that was part of the bad experience. Another part of it was I didn't know how diuretics worked, so I overdid it. So
Oh.
Terrence only told me to take like a quarter of a diazide, and I was like, I did, and I was like, oh, I don't have to pee. Like I don't, whatever. Like I was just assuming that like, oh, I was gonna have to pee, and like that's how it worked. So it never
Mm.
happened, and I was like, oh, I'll just take another. Oh, I'll take another.
No!
Yeah.
Josh.
Oh
And
shit,
then he
man.
invited me to his Airbnb at like 11:30 at night or something. I go over there and we're doing posing and I'm like literally flattening out like by the minute, like bad. So then we're trying to like I at that point I can't fill back up. Like it was already too
Yeah.
late. But and I didn't even end up looking bad on stage. I just looked a little bit softer than I was. But there was 60 people in my class. 60 people in just my class. So I was only on stage for I got to do quarter turns real quick, and then I got set off stage, and then there was like 12 call outs. And then when I went up on my call out, I got like center of my call out at least. I have no fucking clue what place that was. It just wasn't great. So that
Yeah.
whole entire experience there wasn't the best.
Sounds
Yeah.
like the New York Pro or something. Like, there's so many call-outs. Like,
Hmm.
that's crazy. But, dude, how much of a diuretic did you take? You could have died.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I know I
scary
should
shit.
have died for sure, and I didn't even know better. I probably ended up taking like
That's
two and a
so
full
crazy. I'm
side.
so glad that you're
Wow.
okay.
I'm
Oh yeah,
surprised you
we're
didn't get
good.
like I'm surprised you didn't get like sick, like
Yeah.
diuretic sick.
No, I got sick. I did, dude. I
Oh,
was
you did.
actually like, I was very, very, very lean. Like I was ready for that show, so I did not need anything. I fucked that up on my own, but
Yeah.
that was it was still a good show and a good experience as far as the prep goes because that was also the first cycle that I'd ever done. So seeing all of like that progress was fucking nuts to me. So I still have pictures of like the hotel pictures that I took before I fucked up that I really like.
Hmm.
Your first
Yeah.
But then like
year, like, on cycle or whatever, is like when you just don't give a fuck. You're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll just take this amount. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
find
know
that
any
Yeah,
better
it's a
too.
little
It's
bit of
like
that.
the ignorance, I think. You're like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
whatever. I'll take this. I'll take 50 of these.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're like, I haven't been doing this long enough to cause any real damage, so
yeah.
fuck
Yep.
it. Let's get a head
Whatever, just
start.
try it out. Yeah, yeah.
My liver
Yeah.
and kidneys are fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Your liver
Oh.
regenerates, bro. It's fine.
It's true. I actually did have a little bit of that mindset only because I was like, fuck, I've never drank or done drugs or anything. I'm starting to do this. Like, fuck it. I'll just do
Yeah,
whatever. But my cycle was
yeah.
really minimal. It was just the diazide that I was really not smart with. And now I'm not
So
like,
I was gonna ask you what it was, like which diuretic it was. Is it
yeah, it was
diazide?
diazide. Uh-huh. So it was also one
Oh,
that you definitely don't want to be fucking around with like that. But I did.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't use diuretics for my clients. I have one on hand if needed, but it's not been needed yet. So I've kind of figured out a way to where I can peak my people without it. And
Yeah,
if I can do that with myself, I would prefer to just not use one ever again
Yeah.
because I
yeah,
do
dude.
I do flatten out easily regardless.
I really think diuretics, that's how you should do it, just as needed. And quarter diazide is really all you should ever need. You know, if you're in
Yeah.
shape, that's all you should ever need, if
I
that.
found a quarter to be, well, for somebody my size, that was a little much, like at
Mhm.
once. Whereas
That
I
makes
think
sense.
Julia and I, we did 1/8 every, like, I think we might have done, we started on Thursday,
Mm,
and then we did it again 1/8 Friday morning and Friday
mm.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that
I
So,
should
makes
have.
total sense. If you're just over 100 pounds on stage, a quarter would be a lot, I feel like. So
yeah.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because I think I was like 10. I think I was like 103, 104 on Thursday, and then
Mhm.
Saturday morning I was 100. I was 100
Yeah,
pounds.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I should have weighed myself. I have no idea how much that messed with my weight because I was like 208 to 210 pounds,
Mm.
I think, on stage or before I fucked up with diuretics. I wonder if I sucked myself all the way down to like 200 or below because I
Yeah.
lost all of it. I look like in my stage shots I wasn't lean at all, but I know that I was because I see all the pictures beforehand. So I'm like, fuck, dude,
yeah,
I could have looked a lot better, but I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna do any better anyways. I was 20 years old. Like that was my
Yeah.
first real like prep ever. I wasn't gonna win. That's when
Hmm.
Fabian Mayer won and got his pro card, and he's a top 10 Olympian.
oh shit. Okay,
Yeah,
That's cool.
he's good. He's really good.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Dude,
excited
that
for
year
the O
that
this
was a very
year.
competitive year. No matter what I would have done, I was not going to beat him, and you have to get overall to get a pro card there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
As
a
soon
good
as I
learning
got backstage
experience
at that
for
show, I
sure.
was like, yeah, I got work to do.
But Neil, that's sick though. So like you're
Thank you.
gonna
Yeah.
so you're gonna off season till that.
Yep. So yeah,
Okay.
I was 233 on stage at USA's, and the super heavies are just big at that level. Like the guy who
Mm-hmm.
who took first, I ended up in fifth. The guy who took first, and got the pro card was like 2 inches shorter than me and a good like 15 pounds heavier. So I'm like, okay,
Oh shit.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
next
dude.
time I step on stage, I want to be 250, which I could do. Like at the last 2 years in a row, I've put on 15 to 20 pounds of stage weight each year.
Oh wow.
So I just gotta do that one more time, and then I'll be ready for sure. But
That GH doing its job, eh?
doing its good work. But
Props to you.
yeah, I cracked the top five really just on conditioning because I was definitely the most conditioned super, like by
Yeah, I
a
was gonna
lot.
say you're fucking peeled.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But yeah, they want the size. I realized like I kind of went into it thinking it would be because I don't know about where you're at, but at least around here, regional shows are almost just like conditioning contests. Like if
Yes.
you're not peeled, they almost disregard you, and then the three people that actually show up peeled, that there's your top three. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went into it thinking, okay, if I can just be completely inside out peeled, even if I'm not the biggest, they're going to weigh that more, which wasn't really the case. I actually think I probably would have placed a little higher had I not pulled down quite as far as I did. Like
Mhm.
if I had showed up at like 240, because I still had striated glutes at 240, right? But
Right.
Yeah.
those last 7 to 10 pounds was just getting that last little bit of dryness and extra crispiness. But if I had gone on stage at like 240, I might have even placed a little higher. So now we know that going forward, they want the size at that level for sure. At
What
least
did
with
you
that.
What did you weigh at
So this
Emerald?
was
At Emerald, I was 226. So I was
Oh,
7 pounds up in 13 weeks, and actually more conditioned for USA's, I would say.
it's because you needed more fill out more than anything, I
Yes,
believe. But
yes, I think
so
so
do you
too.
guys have do you guys have a USA's and then there's a junior USA's? And
Yes,
then
there's
there's
a couple
NPC
different
nationals. You
qualifiers.
guys have a lot of national shows,
there's a
right?
There's a
lot.
lot of
We have
opportunity to go pro here. Yeah, it's kind of,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's watered down a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't really
yeah,
matter. You can go pro at a
we have
shitty
junior.
pro qualifier and still like be a mediocre pro. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we have junior USA's, and Masters USA's. Three different shows.
Damn. I should go
Yeah,
into the Masters one. I'll be there in a couple years.
really? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 31.
Are you really? I
Yeah.
would not have guessed that.
Yeah.
I feel like
Thank
that's way
you.
What?
too young to do masters or even close to it. What is the masters
Yeah,
age cap?
I think it's
like,
35
is
or
that where it
40.
starts?
Are you
35.
serious?
I think
I
something
thought it
like
was,
That's
that.
I
strange.
thought it was like,
Maybe I'm talking shit. I don't know. I feel like
I
it's
feel like that's young.
something.
it
I
seems
think
super
it's
young.
maybe it's 40.
Okay,
I don't know.
I believe it would be
even
40. I don't know, but my friend, one of my best friends, his name was Sean. He would have been 34 this year, and I know when he was talking about competing, he was gonna wait until he was within masters.
Mm.
And
so
I know
either
that he
one
was.
year or six.
Should we
I don't know
should we
why.
look it
Yeah, it was
up?
either
Well, I'm
gonna
gonna
be
look
one
it
or a
up.
year, or it was gonna
I'll
be like
Google.
5 or 6. But like he just kept finding excuses to not compete. But I don't think that
Let's
it was
see.
35. I think that's too young.
Let's see.
Okay.
NPC. What age is Masters for NPCs? You are right. 35 years of age or older.
Let's
Fuck,
go.
damn.
4 years, I'm
I'm just
coming,
gonna take.
baby.
Damn.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
11
Well,
years off.
what'd you say?
I'm gonna take that time off. I'm gonna grow a
Yeah,
lot, and
There
then
you
I'm
go.
gonna
I'm gonna take
roll in.
11 years off, and I'm gonna be
Hell
the
yeah.
best masters bodybuilder.
Everyone's gonna be like, why is this guy not been? Why has he not
Why
turned
the
pro
fuck
yet?
is he in
This is
masters?
so weird. Just get your pro card in Masters and then just go straight to the Masters Olympia.
There
Yeah,
you
I'll just
go.
say that I did it naturally. That's why it took so
That's,
long.
that's why it took you so long. Yeah. There
Oh
you
Yep.
my
go.
god.
Oh man. Well, we've been on for a little bit. We could probably start wrapping up. We don't want to take too much of Milan's time either. But thanks for
Oh no,
coming
I'm
on.
good, man. I work at 5:30, so I'm just
Just
chilling.
chilling till then. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, real quick before we go, have you guys ever popped a blood vessel right here before? You see
I
that?
saw that you posted about that. I was wondering how. No, I've
Oh,
never
is
even
it
popped.
under your eye?
It's underneath. Yeah. And
Oof.
I know exactly the set it was too. I was doing deadlifts on like one of those plate loaded lever machines where it's literally just handles coming out of the ground on a
Yep.
hinge where you load plates.
Oh,
Um and yeah, I did a top set with 7 plates aside, and before that set my eye looked normal. After that set I was like, what the
Oh.
hell?
at least
It
it
looks like
wasn't
I have
in
a
your
black
eye.
eye. Yeah,
I
I've
don't
gotten
think I've
that
ever popped a
before.
blood vessel at all.
Really?
Yeah,
I
surprisingly
felt
enough.
like
I don't
I
think so.
kind of had one the other night when I was training back.
Mm,
I was just like, I'm trying to. I think it was the prime
prime row?
seated pull. Yeah,
Yeah, I love
and
that
I
one.
was just like reaching over, and the moment I went to go like this,
Yeah,
I felt it like. Boop. I was like, oh
really.
fuck, yeah.
What does it
Yeah,
feel
see, I
like?
didn't.
I'm trying to think of all of the times that I've squatted really heavy, because that would have to be a time that would happen to me, and I just can't
Oh,
think
dude,
of.
I haven't squatted in forever.
Yeah,
Like hack
it's
squat or leg press, I can do that, but I haven't squatted in so long.
mm.
I'm tempted to
I
do it this
started
week
doing
again.
some. I started doing some straight up front squats recently, just with a
Oh,
free bar.
miss
I used
those.
to I
Crazy.
used to do when I was squatting really, really heavy, I would
Yeah,
always take off the weight after I've done my heavy sets of back squats, and I would just do like 3 sets of front squats. I don't know. I used to be fucking crazy on leg day. So I would
I used
go,
to
I would
be.
squat. What were you gonna
Oh,
say?
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I would squat like 6 plates for 2 sets of 10 to 12, and then I would pull off all the way to 4 plates, and then I would do front squats for like 3 sets of whatever the fuck I could get. I don't know why I would do that. It was fun though.
Yeah.
oh yeah, dude. Those are the days right
Yeah,
there.
those are the when your body just can take whatever. It didn't
Yeah,
matter.
Yep.
I had
Yeah.
this
I haven't had
conversation the
that.
other day with my boyfriend where I was just like, dude, I'm getting so old. Like, I remember when I first started training, like, I could just go in there and just rip my body apart. Like, for day, like, I wouldn't take any days off. Like, would just go and, like, be there for, like, 3, 4 hours. Like, nothing. Now, I struggle to walk up the stairs. I
That's what's
really do.
concerning to me. I'm 24 years old and I'm having all these issues. I'm like,
I
fuck, I go to
forgot
the
that you're
gym. I know.
24, Josh.
You're a
Yeah.
baby, bro.
That's
That's
I
crazy.
wild.
I still go into the gym. I'm like, oh, my left shoulder's really bothering me today. This is going to be something to deal with. Oh, fuck, my knees hurt right now. Like, oh, I'm having trouble even getting out of bed because, like, just even, I don't know about you guys, but when I try to even just get off the, like, couch or something, I have a hard time getting up off the fucking couch.
Sometimes, yeah, for sure. What? How
Neil
old
for
are you?
sure.
I
He's a
definitely
big
do. Yeah.
guy.
Just wait till I'm like peak off season weight at like 290. I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
I'll be struggling. What how old were you when you started training, Josh? Consistently
Training or bodybuilding? Because I do think it's kind of
training, like
different.
anything,
Training.
anything.
So when I first started going to the gym, I was like 17. I was
Okay.
Wow.
that's why I was saying for training. I've always been obsessed with this stuff for a while, but I've never actually had
Yeah.
access to be able to do it. So I
Yeah.
was like obsessed with working out for a really, really long time. I started watching bodybuilding and paying attention to pro bodybuilding when I was like 12, but I
Mm,
wasn't able, I would do like at home workouts like once every month or some shit, like stupid stuff. I didn't know what I was doing.
yeah.
17 years old, I was able to kind of go to the gym a little bit, but I still couldn't afford too much because I was already living on my own. So I'd go like once a week if I was able to. And
Mm,
then I started bodybuilding at 19 after I did my first show. So
okay.
I did a show without knowing what I was doing, and then I started
Oh, okay.
taking shit seriously in
I was
bodybuilding
confused there
then.
for a
And
second.
yeah,
Got you. Yeah. The reason I ask is I feel like it's at that like around that 10-year mark that your body starts to just of any
oh yeah,
kind of training at all for 10 years, your body starts to
that's
tell you about it.
that's
Yeah.
that's what I
When
think
did
it
you
is. I
start,
think that's
Neil?
the issue.
I started actually just over 10 years ago. I started when I was 18 and I'm 29 right now. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh
I
wow,
mean like
okay.
really really consistently hammering probably more like 19. Like when I was 18 I started messing around with just like weights that I had at home. Like I had some kettlebells and
Yeah,
Yeah.
dumbbells and stuff.
Pull up bar.
Yeah, exactly. And then 19, I actually got a job at a gym so that I could have a free gym membership. Because same thing, Josh, I couldn't actually afford to pay for one,
Yep.
and that's when I started actually training like every single day or like 6 days a week, and I just started going nuts, like 3, 4 hours a day, just every exercise I could think of, way too much volume.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so right about 10 years, I would say.
yeah. I
Nice.
think I
That's
expedited the process of joint pain for myself with the labor jobs that I have worked. That's what it is.
Oh
Mm.
yeah,
That's what's creating the
that makes
issues for me for sure. I can tell because anytime I have any issues with my right side, like with the way that my shoulder is, or like my trap is so guarded up, it's because I can think of shit that I was doing in the coal mines where like a lot of
mm,
that's like right side dominant with all that work and it's just labor intensive and shit. And I was a roof bolter, so yeah, that definitely is a lot of the reason. And I've never gotten body work up until recently too.
wow,
Yeah,
that's
That's the
I
biggest
wild.
didn't
thing.
take care of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to
That is the
get more
biggest thing.
consistent with that because I'm like, fuck, dude. If this is 24 years old and I'm already like talking 40, then I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to go for. But I think it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
don't end up like me, man. Or like serious back injury and then like tearing
I have a serious back
sartorius and
injury.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
already, dude, I've ran myself into the ground. I'll be okay though. We'll be fine. Come
are
back
you
from it.
getting body work now, Josh?
Yeah, I've been trying to do it a little bit. Since I have a lot of stuff going on right now and I need to get moved and everything, once I get all that settled, then I'm going to start going again weekly for a while to get everything taken care of. And then it'll be more on like a preventative basis of like once a month.
Good. Yeah, solid.
Are you
Yeah, but
stretching a lot?
I do
You
now
work on your
more like
mobility at
dynamic.
all?
Yeah, I do dynamic stretches and stuff before I train, like for mobility, especially for my shoulders specifically. But that's definitely more recent. I didn't used to do anything at all. I would just go into the gym and just start, which is a problem
Yeah.
Yeah.
too for me
That's a
because
huge issue.
yeah, I go into the gym, I put my headphones on, and then I'll like do a warm up set, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'm putting on 5 plates on this chest press, and just I'm gonna go. And then after that,
I,
like I don't feel the pain and I don't notice any exhaustion or anything throughout my workout when I'm doing it. And then as soon as I take my headphones off and I take myself out of that element, I am like, oh, I'm gonna fall apart.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm smiling because the gym I go at, it's warm ups are not a thing. Like I just do not
Yeah,
see people do that. They
Yeah.
just
yeah,
come in like right to the leg press, right to the whatever fucking shoulder press, and just
yep.
load it up. I'm like, Mommy, you haven't even taken off like your jacket yet. Like, what the hell's going on?
And that's how I used to be. I'm trying to be better about. It's more for me with clients and stuff. I got to lead by example, and I
It's
know
because
that
you're
what I was
young
doing.
still. It's because you're
Yeah,
young. Once you get to my age, you're gonna be like, I need to warm up for at least half an hour. Like,
Milan,
I
how
I've been
much?
actually
doing.
have to, man.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
ask how much warm ups and stretches and stuff do you usually do?
Um, depends on what I'm training, but right now my upper body feels really fucked because like I've kind of like reduced my volume with my upper body training because like I said in 2020 they told me I was like on the brink of being a little bit too much.
Mm.
hmm
And like just personally, a personal preference, I don't want to grow my upper body anymore. So I've kind of decreased the volume on that. So I don't know, I feel like I need to warm up like a lot more since I don't train it as often.
Oh,
So
sure.
I'll do like a maybe like 15 minute like stretch or warm up for my upper body. For legs, I try to do at least like 10 minutes on the treadmill, get the legs like and the knees warmed up, even my ankles and stuff, and then I'll do like a rolling and then a stretching and then I'll start. Cuz I didn't do that before I tore my sartorius, and I think that that's like a big reason why.
Okay. Yeah.
I've
So,
noticed that the stationary bike is really good for warming up for like leg days because you get a lot more like knee flexion and like movement throughout your entire
Mm.
leg when you do it that way. So that's what I try
for
to do
sure.
now.
That just hurts my ass a lot. So,
Yeah, no, it's really uncomfortable. It is. I
it's
hate it.
really uncomfortable. So I'm like, I'm gonna just not do that. I'd rather do the stairs at that
Yeah,
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Stairs
But
aren't
then like
bad.
30 seconds in, I'm like I'm like breathing so heavily.
It's
It's
Yeah,
really
just too much.
easy
I'm
to
like
get
so out of
warmed up.
shape.
It's really easy to get warmed up there for sure. It's like
Yeah.
instant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel too fucking fat for stairs, dude. Can't. Like, I get out of breath pretty quick. Like, I don't know what it is. I
Same.
seriously, I don't feel like I'm that big of a person, but like when I move around and I try to do everyday activities, I feel like I'm too damn big for those. So going up the stairs is not fun.
Can you
No, I
imagine being big Rami, bro? That would
That's what I'm
be
saying. I'm only 250. I'm
dude.
like fucking struggling.
I
Probably
yeah.
still.
remember they
So,
used to talk about Luke Sando would do the stairs a lot for cardio, but he would just have it. He would hit quick start and whatever speed it was on, he would just leave it there for like one or
really.
two or whatever it was because that was enough. He
Oh,
was so fucking big.
yeah. He was a big dude,
Hilarious.
man.
Yep.
I remember when I was coached by John was when I was with Granite as well, and same with Luke was as well, and I remember him on the banner when I worked
Oh,
the
that's cool.
Toronto, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was the first time I had ever seen Luke. I didn't know of Luke before.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just like it's weird because it was
Yeah.
I don't even know how many years ago now that happened. This was in
Yeah.
2018. So
Okay.
yeah, just so much
He
has changed.
he passed in
Ian
2020,
just
I think.
posted a picture of 2018 at the Indy Pro with Luke
Who
today.
did, sorry?
Ian, he posted a throwback.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I gotta go look at that. That's cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Luke got third and Ian got fourth at that show.
Okay.
Indie.
Man.
Indy.
Because I know they did. Was
Oh yeah,
it
right
Tampa
here.
that they did that year too?
2018.
I think it was actually, it might have been 2019 that they had done it.
Yeah, you mean Luke?
Like
Luke
Luke
and
and
Ian.
Ian both did like
Oh,
Tampa that year was fucking, there was like 30 of them.
I
Yeah.
think
There's
it
actually
was.
there's a really good video on
God, dude, I
YouTube
just
of it.
Any time I see a bodybuilder with a good set of triceps, I just self-deprecate immediately.
Dude.
That's so
Man,
crazy.
Ian looks really good here too, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Wait, this was 2018. Okay, yeah.
2018, yeah.
In
Ooh.
2019, Van Pro, I was there.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite look of his. If you
Nice.
But
guys pull it up on YouTube, it's great. Oh,
Ian
Charles
will
looks good there too. What do you guys think of Kuklo right now? I don't think Kuklo's gonna
come back.
come back.
I don't know.
How
Yeah.
old is he? He's been he's been around for a while.
He
What
has.
is his plan? Is he trying to qualify next year, or has he
I
said?
haven't heard anything of what he's trying to do.
Oh, okay.
I just think that the reasons that he's not winning shows anymore are not reasons that or they're not things that he's going to be able to really fix at this point in his career.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that the reason he's getting passed isn't because he's bad, it's because a lot of these newer guys that are coming up just happen to be better and a place where
Yeah.
Kuklo's career is more leveled off, starting to go to like, I don't know, this isn't negative. I hope it doesn't sound negative. It's just
Yeah.
he's been around for a while. He's been top.
Yeah.
I think he's got an eighth at the Olympia before. Like he's a really, really good bodybuilder. It's just you can only be a really good bodybuilder for so long before age gets you.
Exactly.
For sure.
You
He's
gotta.
he's
I think
past
he's
his prime, and everyone else is coming into their prime, right? So it's just
yeah, because I think he's close to 40, if not 40.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
yeah, that's part of what it is too. And I think that
I think
a
so.
lot of his thing is like, I mean, he's a bigger guy structurally, but like he's still not thick and filled out thick. And
Right.
when
Right.
you're that at that age and at that point in your career, it's like you're
I
not gonna
think
gain 10
it's
pounds of
really
thick.
genetic based as well. Because
Yeah.
like, I mean, the age obviously plays such a big role, but because I'm just thinking like Dexter, right? Like Dexter's he was phenomenal for his age. Even who else is older now? So there's Kamal. There's
Kamal's
I
another one.
think
Yeah.
Kareth is actually a little bit older as well. The
Is he
guy
really?
in
Kareth?
212.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if he's.
really like him.
He's a
I
freak.
really like him
He's
too.
one of my favorite 212 guys right now.
Me too.
Same.
I'm a big fan of him. He's just
Same.
like peeled.
Yeah.
And then who else is there? Uh
Andrew Jack is
Klahar.
approaching 40.
Andrew
Oh, yeah,
Jack is what,
Klahar.
sorry?
He's approaching 40.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yo,
I never
Andrew.
think about it.
I'm
just has a-
such a fan.
He just has a very young,
Fresh
like
look.
he has a very young competitive age, but
Yes.
because he hasn't been around that long, but his actual biological age is up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would
Yeah.
honestly assume that Andrew has not really pushed the gear side of bodybuilding super hard the whole entire time he's done it because of how fresh he does
Yeah.
look at that age.
Oh,
I
for
would
sure.
believe it. Yeah. Well, based on how he talks about his early days of just like kind of eating whatever and just training hard, and how he looks just doing that, I would bet he hasn't done much for sure.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't look like I mean, you can kind of tell with all these bodybuilders that really come into their own, they start to get extremely competitive when they're a lot older because of how,
Yeah.
like, I mean, Kamal, he's been competitive for a lot of his career, but he's still very competitive now, and he's 50 or 51, however old he is. And then
Yeah.
I know, like, everybody kind of knows, he's talked about it. He doesn't push gear hard. And then
Yeah.
Samson,
I was
who's
just
been
gonna
coming
say,
into his
Samson.
own. Samson
I was gonna
hasn't
bring him
pushed
up.
gear hard. Yeah, like all these guys that are fresh. I wonder if
Well,
Dexter,
look at Keon too, right? Like,
Keon's
True.
young, isn't
Yeah.
he?
yeah, he's young. But still, same with the
Oh yeah,
gear
you're right. Like
thing.
in the way
Yeah.
to where like he didn't push, like everybody kind of thought he was lying about being natty until like he started using gear, and it was pretty fucking obvious that he wasn't using anything before because you do not grow like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why I haven't clicked off this screen yet is I want to point out Ben's comment. My ears
I
are
was
Melissa,
so
my
I
ears are
literally
still ringing
I
from
saw it when
Melissa's.
Josh was talking, and I was like, okay. I was like trying not to laugh
Yeah,
because
I
I just
know.
looked at it quickly.
For
Yeah.
those on audio only, he comments, "My ears are still ringing from Melissa Bumstead screaming behind me when you first walked out," meaning Ian.
She screams pretty loud. It's so funny.
I believe
I
it.
hear it
fucking
in
laugh every
videos.
single
It's my
time.
favorite, dude. It's awesome.
Same,
Yeah.
dude. That's support right there. That is support.
Mhm. Damn it. I was about to ask you guys something and I completely forgot what it was.
Oh, whoops.
Whoopsie.
Whoops.
Do
All right,
anyone
guys.
have-
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
hungry.
Yeah, I got a client
hungry.
call in a minute. And I just realized
Oh,
it.
snap. All right, guys. Milan, thanks again for coming on. This was
Thank
dope.
you for having me. It was fun. It was very
Yeah.
fun. We could
Whenever
talk
you want
forever,
to,
honestly.
Yeah,
whenever
it
you
would be
come
easy.
back, whenever you want to come back, you should.
I would love to. I would love to. You guys film
Yeah.
Mondays? Mondays
Yeah,
only, or?
yeah, we try to do what we can right now. It's more based off of Tyler's schedule, I feel like. Trying to get everything worked out for him. He has a job and he has his daughter and everything. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Mondays
okay,
have just
okay.
been what works for us. I
Yeah.
can go any day of the week if we ever needed to.
Yeah, me too. Like, I just have to check my schedule for the most part, but
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm not like ever a set schedule. Like, every day is different for me. So
Mhm.
yeah, just let me know ahead of time and we'll make it happen. I'm
Cool.
very
Sweet.
down.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's do
All
it.
right, friends.
All right,
Yeah,
Talk to you
guys.
soon.
Talk soon. Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Thank you too.
bye.
Bye.